All right. In this video, I'll share with you 5 key questions you must ask yourself if you want clarity of the direction that your career is going, or let's say you're a freelancer or you're a businessman. These are the 5 questions which I believe can really give you clarity. Okay. So, what you can do is maybe save this video and watch it later, take down the points, because these are questions which sound very simple, but if you manage to get the answers, it can actually be a game changer for you. So let's quickly move in. Got any questions? Comment down below. All right. The first one is what exactly are you offering? Okay. You need to be very, very specific here. Most of the people, they tend to have, very vague answers. Let's say, for example, they'll say, I'm a coach, I'm a consultant, I'm an engineer, I'm a sales guy, marketing guy. Okay. To give you an idea, what does it mean by being specific? Let's say you're going to run a restaurant. If your restaurant serves just normal everyday cuisine or normal everyday food, whatever local food, then it's more like anyone can come, have food, and go. But here's the problem of doing that. If your restaurant is general food that you just cook chicken, fish, meat, vegetables, whatever, and you give it rice or you give it with bread. Now, what you need to ask yourself is, can someone copy this easily? Can someone also, serve this kind of food and become my competitor? Like, for example, here in Samui, where I stay, uh, Thai food is a specialty, especially not only for tourists who come down here, because, for them, oh, Thai food, wow, they want to try something new, but also for the local population. Okay. Anyone wants, they can grab a little bit of rice, they can grab a little bit of meat, curry, fine, whatever. But the problem here is because Thai food is very easy and simple to make, there is no shortage of people opening such restaurants. Almost every second shop is selling what the previous shop is selling. So I'll give you an example. You'll get sausages, you get prawns, you get crabs, you get fish, you get chicken, you get some places beef, but mostly all of them pork. Then you get gravy items, you get barbecue items, you get fried items. Okay, and you get obviously rice. So now these items are available in all the shops. For example, the most famous green curry. It's available in all the shops. Everybody knows how to make green curry. Everybody knows how to make the red curry. Everybody knows how to make masaman. Everybody knows how to make pad thai. These are the common foods that Thai people eat. So what is the problem, you might say? Well, if you are one person, how many restaurants can you go? You'll just go to maybe your favorite restaurant and you'll always go and order from there. Or if you're adventurous, you'll try one day here, one day there, one day there. But now, as a business owner, how will you survive? Okay, if you're the only restaurant, everyone comes to you. Okay, 10 people will come to you. But now, if there are 2 restaurants, 5, 5. If there are 3 restaurants, 3, 3, and 4. If there are 5 restaurants, 2, 2, 2 in each. And then if there are 10 restaurants, one will go to each restaurant. So you get, it's not going to be exactly like that, but you get what I'm trying to tell you. So what is the answer here? In order to survive, you need to come up with something very unique, okay, that specializes and shows your specialization or your experience or expertise in that area. For example, if let's say all are Thai restaurants and then there is one Greek restaurant, wow, something new. There's an Arabic restaurant. There is an English that serves British food. There is, let's say, an Indian restaurant. There is some other culture. Okay, let's say German food. Okay, so when you have specialized, or let's say you're serving pizza, or let's say you're serving only fast food, but at a different price point. So when it becomes specific, people suddenly start remembering you and they would want maybe your key service. Because today, when you check online, for example, if you go to Fiverr and you type, let's say, YouTube videos, okay, create an intro, create an outro, create a logo, or touch up your photograph. Now, anybody can do that. And now you have AI that can easily do all of that. So what makes you stand out? You must give out something that is unique to you, where you have the experience, you have the expertise, you have the knowledge, and you put your creativity. That is why, my friend who runs this restaurant that is nearby, Babu Indian Hot, he is, even though Nepali, he has been specializing in Indian cuisine only. Indian cuisine. Just he worked under Indian chefs. He worked under multiple Indian restaurants. He trained under Indian chef. He learned Indian food, and he just mastered. I think maybe, for example, I'm giving you roughly maybe 25 main dishes, or maybe let's say 50 main dishes. Okay, 50 is too much, 25. Okay. And he made sure that he mastered it until it became the best of what he could offer. And today, his key money, the main revenue, comes from those key dishes. Now, there are many people who try to copy an Indian restaurant. There are many people who try to be competitors. There are many people who, bought in new flavors. They didn't survive. And those who did survive, now his no matter how much he tried, he offered discounts. He offered, okay, I'll give you North Indian and South Indian food or East Indian. The people who are loyal to this restaurant, Babu Indian Hut, they only go to him because nobody can give the flavors that he offers. Now, the only way he can be defeated is if someone else comes with the same product and makes it even better, or let's say they offer something unique which he cannot offer, then obviously his customers will go there. So the first thing which I'm telling you is, don't try to be generic, and don't try to be just the normal. Like, uh, let's say you call yourself an engineer. Okay, how do you specialize? And once you decide, I'm going to specialize in this track, or I'm going to specialize in this direction, make sure that you are having the experience, the expertise, the guidance, and the creativity that makes you the niche in that particular segment or industry. Okay. And that involves you constantly upgrading yourself. So the first question you need to ask, what am I offering? Second one is, this one is really tough, is who's your target market? I'll give you a small example. There are so many people who are like uneducated about business and all that, and they come to my channel and they tell me, "Hey, man, what the hell? What's so few views on your channel?" Okay, for example, they say so few views. Well, obviously, I'm not very popular. Obviously, I'm not having viral content. Obviously, the production value is not there. All these factors come. And yes, I don't spend money on ads at all. I do not, I do not offer anything that is so like worth watching. Like, for example, which is fun. Let's say whether it's a sexy girl or whether it's like Mr. Beast entertainment. Okay, I don't do any of that. So what do I offer? I offer something that a very niche audience would like. Like, for example, this topic about, let's say, um, say personal branding or business strategy. Not everyone wants to get into business. Not everyone wants to improve their career. I'll give you an example so that it'll make sense. Um, the same thing which I told you before in terms of restaurants. Just imagine there is a restaurant which is fast food. Anyone and everyone loves it. But if in case there is a vegan restaurant, who do you think will go there? Only people who like vegan food. Okay? Meat eaters would hate to go there. Let's say, for example, there is a Muslim restaurant that serves a food which is, as per Islamic halal. Muslims would love to go there. They would not want to go to a place that serves pork. Okay? So that way, when you are offering something, they should be a target market. The vegan restaurant focuses on vegan customers. The Muslim Islamic restaurant focuses on Islamic Muslim customers. You can say that, yeah, but anyone can eat it. No, yeah, anyone can eat it, but where does your major revenue come from? Okay, so for me, my target market, if I were to be very specific, it's not female. It is majority male, men. The second thing, it is not men from all parts of the world, India, Pakistan. Say, for example, India, Pakistan, America, Russia, German, French, Canadian. If you take all the nationalities, it is very specific to Indians. And now, is it the whole of India? No. It is Indians who are wanting to go abroad, or non-resident Indians, or Indians who no longer stay in India. Okay. And then if I were to be even more specific, it is Indians who can afford to offer, say, 237 US dollars for 1 hour of consultation. So you see, it becomes narrow and narrow and narrow and narrow and narrow. And finally, if it comes down to the age gap, the age group is 30 to 50. So my specific audience is Indian men who are 30 to 50, who are Indians, my clientele, and who are based outside India. Okay, those are my clients who pay me the money. But if you're talking of, let's say YouTube channel, okay, there also it comes down to the content that I'm sharing. Who'd be interested? Now, I don't think the content I share, let's say someone who is in Harvard or someone who is a very successful multimillionaire would see, nah, they would never see it. I'm very aware of it. Would someone who's a teenager or youngster say, no, there's nothing, it's boring? Okay. So what kind of individual would see this? Where, the certain specific um, characteristics I gave, Indian male, the topics that I give would interest people in each of these videos. That is why, if you see, I only speak about Indians. I don't speak about Pakistanis. I don't speak about Sri Lankans. I don't speak about USA. And if I do speak on any of these topics, it'll be something I'm interested in. Okay. And remember this much, YouTube is for free. So free, anyone and everyone can come and see and go. But when you're talking of actual paying the money, okay, that is where you have to keep in mind. So for an employee, it is who can afford to pay the salary that you're asking. Which company can give you the position that you're asking? If you're going to go to a small company and you're looking for, let's say, becoming the regional manager in a local company, a small company, maybe it's a CEO and just salesman. He doesn't have a regional head. He'll have to create that position. But if you go to let's say, a company like as big as Google or something, they would definitely have, okay, we have regional this thing. Or if you go to Toyota, or if you go to any of these big multinational giants, they would have regional head. They would have country head. They would have, they would divide, let's say, India in the southern, northern, eastern, western regions. You get what I'm saying? And then you also, as an employee, you need to ask yourself, my resume that I'm sending, or the person that I'm applying to, should I give the resume to the receptionist? Should I give it to the HR assistant? Should I give it directly to the HR head? Should I skip all of them and go maybe to the owner of the company? Because remember, sometimes if your CV is at a particular level, you must meet that person who understands your value. I'll give you a simple example. If you are, let's say, a very good sales guy, champion salesperson, okay? You have an exceptional record in terms of sales, and you also have leadership experience of managing many people. Now, let's say a sales manager who is not as good as you is a senior person in that company, and he sees your resume. Okay. Now, if he knows that you are a salesperson who is at a junior level, but you can perform, but you'll be under him, he'll gladly take you as long as you're under him. But if he sees this is a sales guy who had many people under him and he has shown spectacular performance and much more than what I can do, the guy will be very scared. He'll be like, if I give him a job and he performs, maybe the company will give him my position. Maybe they'll make him the head and he'll be a competition to me. Maybe they'll make him my boss. And people, they want to hold on to their positions of power. So the second point is know who's your target market and know who is it specifically for. You have to be very, very specific here. That is why many people, when they randomly send their CVs, shooting it to every LinkedIn and every ad and every group and every random person, I tell them, what the hell are you doing, man? It's bullshit. All you're doing is giving your profile for free, and people will use your data, or they'll use your content, they'll copy it. Or if nothing else, you're just giving, your competitors to look at your work and, oh, very good CV, very good template, I'll just copy it. Don't do that. Okay. The third one is what is your strategy? And this is, I think, primarily applicable for, let's say, freelancers and businessmen. I've written this down. Just pay attention to the numbers. Maybe you can write it down. Do you want to have 1 million customers paying you $1? So that's 1 million. If you have 1 million customers paying you $1. Or you can have 100,000 customers pay you $10. Or you can have 10,000 clients pay you $100. All this comes to 1 million. Okay. 10,000 into 100. Or you can have 1,000 clients, each one pay you 1,000, and then you get 1 million. Or you can have 100 clients who will pay you $10,000. Or you can have 10 clients that pay you $100,000. Or you can have one client that will pay you $1 million. All of them are equal to 1 million in the end. The question is, which strategy suits you? Now, if you're a volume-based guy, let's say you're like Thai Lopez, he will say, I'll charge you $67. He'll place a $1 ad on YouTube. And when he deducts it, each customer may cost him, say, $5 or $10, but he's netting, say, $60. For example, I'm giving you. Okay. And with $60, he can target, people can afford $60 very easily. But now, if his program was like, let's say, Alex Hormozy, who charges $5,000 to sit in his seminar, $5,000. Now, $5,000 is not everyone. $60 people can afford, 67 for a PDF or a book. $5,000 very small audiences can, because it's becoming more expensive. But now, if you have to have a one-to-one session with Alex Hormozy, the same guy, or let's say Grant Cardone, who's another internet marketer, he does property, too much of bullshit. He charges $50,000. So from $60, $5,000 become even less. $50,000 shrinks it even further. And then there are actually people who are ready to pay like $100,000 to get, let's say, advice from Tony Robbins or Gary Vaynerchuk. $100,000 just for a few minutes. Okay. So then it makes it even more thin. And then if you look to having Tony Robbins as your consultant and guide and everything, maybe he'll charge you $1 to $10 million. Now, can everyone afford that? No. But there are people. So ask yourself, what is your strategy in life? For me personally, I'm giving you my the same. I don't want to get 1 million customers, because each customer for me, I will put the same amount of effort if I charge a customer less or more. So I was like, why do I want to charge a customer less? I'll charge him a little more. But then there is a limit to how much you can charge. Like when I started my, this online business or, services, I started at $1. I was not too sure, made it $5. Okay. Then demand grew, $10. Then went to 20, 25, 50, 100, then slowly picked up to 200, 500, went to 1,000, and the highest I charged means for a group was $10,000. More than that, yes, there have been people who have paid me 100, but they've just been like, I could say 5 in my 20 years, 5, not more than that. And do I get such customers? No. Okay. If I would get like that every day, my problems would be solved in life. But I know how much headache it is for a $200, $500, $5,000, $10,000 or beyond. And remember this, I'm giving you me. When I speak to someone for 1 hour, let's say I'm speaking to someone for 1 hour, the amount of intensity, focus, attention that I give that person, seriously, this is not a joke. By the time that 1 hour is over, I'm mentally and emotionally exhausted. Seriously, I'm exhausted. Sometimes the call is not just 1 hour. 1 hour is okay. Sometimes it goes up to 5 hours, and they're paying me for the 5 hours. So after that call is done, I'm tired. Whether it's 1 hour or 5 hours, by the time it's finished, I switch it off and I'm just sitting like this. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Maybe sometimes I may not even create a video. I may not do any work. My voice has to rest. I might just sit down and play a video game, or I'll just read a book, or I'll lie down, or I'll go for a drive. So imagine that is what it takes out of me. So I have to ask myself, do I want more people with the same amount of money or less people with the same amount of money? So that should be the question you'll ask. And remember, there is a ceiling. You cannot ask unlimited amount. Like if I were to, let's say, charge $1,000 an hour, that sounds like a good idea. But for that, I need to offer $1,000 an hour worth of value, because people are not dumb. Clients are not dumb. In today's day and age of free information online, you really have to know how to stand out. Otherwise, finished. Point number 4 is, what is your pricing hierarchy? Okay. To give you an idea of this, on Fiverr, if you go to Fiverr, there is a basic gig, maybe it can be $10. Then there is a silver gig, the next level, which instead of $10, he'll charge you, say, $100. And then there is the topmost gig, basic, silver, gold. Gold may be $200. So $10, $100, $200. And all the sellers, the freelancers over there, they will tell you $10, I'll give you A and B. But if you give me $100, I'll give you A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay. And if you give $200, I'll give you A, B, C, D, E, F, and, extra. And then there is another version, another level, which Fiverr has started, is the customized version. Okay, here I charge you 50, here I charge you 100, here I charge you 200. This one will be 500, but it'll be customized to, whatever changes you want. So you get it. There are different levels. Now, as an employee, obviously you can't tell him, sir, you give, I want the basic salary, or I want the gold salary. Everyone will say, I want the gold salary. I want the highest. Okay. All that sounds good. Question is, what are you offering at every level? See, there are some companies that give you, they pay you per hour, which is a good thing, because then you can decide how many hours you'll work. There are some companies that pay you based on your targets, how much you achieve. There are different slabs. In Citibank, if you got 21 customers, there was a slab. Then came, I think, 35. Then came 40. Then came 55. And each slab, it's like here you'd get, maybe for every customer you'd get, example, I'm giving 100. Here it become every customer you'll get 200. And next one, every customer you'll get 300. So it's like, so people had to push for the maximum, because the more higher they would go, the multiplication would be much more higher. So for you as an employee, you need to ask yourself, how can I, price myself? Because remember, suppose, let's say the market is in a recession, or the market is down, or the market is not good. And if you start charging people, let's say, a very high premium, nobody will offer you a job. Seriously. So then you need to ask yourself, okay, if I price myself, let's say $10,000, nobody's giving me a job. So obviously you need to bring what your expectations down. But then, if you're bringing your expectations down, also make sure that you're not dumb enough to take the headache of, let's say, a $10,000 when you're getting paid, say, $5,000 or $6,000. If they are going to give you half the salary, then your time should be important. Your skill level should be on your leadership, because you'll be a fool if, and most of our Indians unfortunately are, where they will accept a salary, let's say half, and then they'll do twice, 3 times, or four people's work. And then the owner will be like, oh, very good. He's doing 4 people's job. I'm saving a lot of money. Some of them don't even care to increase your salary. So if they do increase your salary, give them more. And that is where the business mind comes in. Okay. So what is your pricing hierarchy? You have to be very clear. For me also, I know what I should charge. Let's say a student. What should I charge? Let's say a fresher, or just an executive, senior level, higher. then say C-level CEO, there's different rates. Okay. And last, if not the least, the final one. Why should someone come to you? And as an employee, the question can be turned around as to why should someone give you a job? And trust me when I say this, almost every single person, 99.999%, have never been able to answer this. To give you in layman's terms, why do you think someone buys a Toyota? Why? There'll be certain reasons. Mileage, maybe it's affordable, service is affordable. My family, it's a family car. Okay. It's, I can keep it for many years, then I can resell it. Okay. The resale value is very high, Toyota. Okay. Then if you say Volvo, people will say, oh, safety. It's a very safe car. Say Lexus, it's a poor man's luxury car. Okay, Lexus. For those who couldn't afford super high luxury. Then BMW, the slogan says ultimate driving machine. Mercedes Benz. Okay. There's some other thinking, thought process there. Luxury with, power. Then there is the super premium cars like fast luxury Ferrari. It gives a different feel. Lamborghini, youthfulness or speed. Then there is, the creme de la creme, which is Rolls Royce. You're trying to show prestige and power. Then Bugatti, you're trying to show ultra speed and, uh, you know, at a very high amount of luxury. So you have to ask yourself, am I a Toyota? Am I a Rolls Royce? Are my clients a Toyota? Are they Rolls Royce? Is my pricing Toyota? Is it Rolls Royce? Or is it somewhere in between? And what do I offer? Toyota, Rolls Royce. And why should people come to me? What am I? Am I a Toyota? Am I a Volvo? Am I a Lexus? What is that exclusive one feature? Because remember, you cannot have, I offer everything. I offer safety. I offer resale value. I offer value for money. That's all bullshit. Okay, everyone offers value for money or perceived value for money. But if you cannot differentiate yourself in a crowded marketplace, then no. And remember, when you apply for jobs, maybe 100 people are applying for the same jobs. And if you're Indian and you're in India, it's not 100, maybe 10,000 people are applying for jobs. So how do you stand out? Yes, you can make your CV colorful and very bright, and excellent format, and maybe you can make superb graphics, and maybe you can even give a video CV or whatever. Or maybe you'll not maybe you'll hand deliver it and not send it via post, or maybe instead of email, you'll send DHL to have an amazing impression. Fine. All this is fine. But then it comes to you. Yes, you've got their attention. So he'll ask you, tell me honestly, why should I employ you? What are you going to say? So leadership skills, or dedicated, or determined, or I never give up. I'll give you my heart and soul. Sir, I'm the number one, the best. You need to be very specific. You can't say all these things because everyone can say all this. How do you measure dedication, drive, leader? How do you measure it? So you need to come up with very specific, smart, intelligent, practical, measurable answers. And don't bullshit by saying, so the growth was 17.3% and brought down the cost by 3.28%. And who make these percentages? Why do you conjure up just because you thought about it? People are not stupid. Okay, and especially the decision maker who's going to pay you a salary, the very fact he's paying you a salary shows that he is much more smarter with money and life. That is why you're not him in his position. Okay, you're asking him for a job. So obviously he's smarter. Having said this, these are the 5 key points that you should keep in mind when navigating through your career or business, or let's say as a freelancer. I hope these 5 points offered you some value. Let me know in the comments below. And if you like such videos, I would love to create them for you. Good, bad, ugly, comment below. Any questions, let me know what they are. Take care.